Hello and welcome back everyone to Master Game Design, Unreal Engine 5 Stylized environment and third-person blueprint course. In the last lesson, we pretty much left ourselves with a nice type of ship area over here. We set ourselves up with all the boats to be behaving properly. So now we can just go ahead and delete the rest of these items that aren't actually set up with the blueprint. We're just going to delete all of these static meshes. We can probably delete this one as well. And actually need one more of an extra ship over here on the side, which I'm going to do right away, just like that. And we can even check how this entire setup looks like. I would recommend you though, when rotating the ships for this area, to turn off the snapping over on the top right hand corner to make sure that we basically have slight offset so it wouldn't look too artificial when we just place these boats like so. And I'm worried that the paddle is going to be hitting. Well, actually, instead of just clicking the play button, what I also like to do is just go onto these three dots over here, click on them, and click on simulate. What this will do is basically to simulate all the physics like so, and we can see how they will behave on the boats, basically, how everything is going to look like. So this, for example, paddle needs to be dragged out a little bit outwards. Now, after we hit simulate, the play button will change to start simulating. If you want to go back, you just have to just click on select viewport. That's the original play button. But yeah, once we click simulate, we're going to get this result. And it seems like the water had disappeared from me for a second. Not sure what was that all about, but there you go. We also need to make sure that we take off the command for buoyancy. So r/water buoyancy. Water.debug buoyancy. We can hit tab as well, by the way, and we can just write 0, which will now just take off all of those spheres that we were seeing before. So there we go. All right, so let's move on to the next building. The next part that we're going to start setting up. There we go. That looks quite all right. Okay. The next part that we're going to start setting up is going to be probably the building up on the side. It's I think it's nicest one to start with in regards to the buildings. The reason being is that we can actually make use out of the presets. We can make use out of this entire section over here. And I'm going to show you how I tend to group them up and how I tend to make use out of them in regards to that. So what I tend to do is, well, first of all, just like we did previously, we're going to go to the top-down view. We're going to click F with the selection of this. We're going to select this entire thing, go back onto the viewport, click F, make sure that it's only this selected. I'm going to click Control G, hold Alt, put it up to the side, just like that. And let's not forget to turn on the grid lock as well. I'm going to set it up to 10, just like that. And we're going to put it up out on the side, just like so, for this section. I'm going to turn off the gray box for now, going to see how this looks like. And we might need to, increase the height for the overall terrain. I think that's a time for when we should probably adjust this real quick. So let's go ahead and do that. So real quick, we're going to go and actually unlock persistent level itself, like so. We're going to go onto the landscape. We're going to grab flatten tool, just like we did previously. This time we should be able to use pipette to just click on this area over here, or actually we need to just heighten it up a little bit. So to heighten the area up actually itself, we're going to use the sculpt tool. I will scroll down and see which layer we're using. So we're going to lock down the water just in case, and we're just going to use the layer itself for now. Always make sure that you are on the right layer. Then you can just increase this just by a little bit. Increase it too much, so I'm going to hold Shift to just lower it to invert what I'm doing. So something like this looks quite all right. I like this height. I'm going to go back to flatten, going to use the pipette now, and just going to click on this area. Now you can see this grid gets raised up. So now we can just use it to straighten everything up, basically. And that's going to be great for us. And I'm not going to worry about too much in regards to the detail. We can always come back and fix it overall, but it's a nice heightening area section. I think we can leave this section as is for the side and have it something like that. So basically this building wouldn't be just floating around. All right, so now that we have it like so, let's go back onto the selection mode. Going to lock down the persistent level again, going back to this selection since it is a group. It's going to keep it nicely fixed up. Going to just put it up to the side. And now let's work in regards to what we have with the gray box. So let's see what we have. We have like sort of a crane over here on the side and certain elevation up on this area. So we can actually make use out of what we have. For that, I'm going to go ahead and make the gray box invisible, see what we can do about it. So for that, let's check if we do actually have a crane and whatnot over in this section, which we should have over on the, maybe not extra, maybe props. There you go, next to the props. We're going to grab the crane and we're going to grab a door for the section as well, which, there you go, that's a nice door. No, actually I'll make it, we have some interactable doors which we're going to talk about in the future, but the one that I'm looking for is just a simple door that has no alternative, just going to be one static mesh, doesn't need to be opened or closed. So we're going to basically select the crane and select the door, hold Alt and move it up to the side, and that's pretty much all we need to craft this area. Well, actually, sorry about that, we'll need to grab one more thing, so I'm just going to go ahead and just move this closer to the section, and I'm going to go back real quick and grab the stairs. So the stairs that we're going to use is going to be probably the smaller one. Just going to check real quick if it is the smaller one, and it looks like it should be the smaller one, so I'm just going to make use out of that. I'm going to hold Alt and just drag it up to the side, and let's not forget to hold Shift. I think, yeah, these are separate, so that's quite nice, but we need to make sure we have them basically as one. And I'm going to make sure that angle snapping is turned on for this one. So we're just going to rotate this by 90 degrees nicely and attaching it up to the side. We're not needing to be worried about the overall setup at this point. We just need to basically readjust this for our purpose, this entire building for our purpose. So the way we're going to do it is we're just going to, first of all, make sure that this entire section actually sits properly on the ground, so it's not floating around, just like that. That looks much better in regards to that. And I'm just making sure that this one is going to be, actually, I do think we'll need longer stairs for that. So let me just go back real quick, grab the larger stairs over here. I'm going to hold Alt, put it up to the side just like that, and we're going to get ourselves a nice platform to walk on and whatnot, have some nicer elevation and be able to help us break up the surface. Let's not forget to click one and just see how it looks like with the building itself in comparison, especially to the gray box. We'll need to make sure that this is properly set up to that. So now I'm just bringing this upwards like so, and now we can go ahead and just simply readjust this entire section to make it more fitting for this area. So first things first, what we can do is just simply, since I like this area for the location of this building, we're going to break this up a little bit. Actually, we're going to go ahead and select this building, click Shift G to ungroup everything, and then we're going to just simply remove the parts that we don't really need. So for example, we don't need this, we're going to go ahead and remove it. We're going to be actually needing to bring these stairs upwards a little bit, quite a bit like so, and this is not needed either. I'm going to go ahead and delete these parts like so, keep the wooden part. I think it looks quite nice. And for this part, I do want, where is it? There you go, our nice crane. Just waiting for it to be placed. Let's go ahead and add this in over here. I think the roofs will have to be replaced as well, and the door will need to be replaced. Let's go ahead and change this up. So door is going to be just a change with a simple plain wall. I think that's going to be quite okay. Maybe we need to readjust a little bit. There you go. All right, so it's nice and easy, simple kind of a change. I love this button. This is a very nice button when you want to change it with a similar type of assets. You just need to make sure that the assets themselves has the same origin point. So for example, this origin point is going to be here, and this origin point you see is also in the bottom and centered. So it doesn't exactly matter if it's centered or not, but it just has to be consistent with the origin point. So it's easy to change them up in regards to the static meshes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab this entire door. We're going to set it up over here. just like that. I'm going to check gray box real quick, check the mesh, and yeah, we can see that I'm not like entirely needed to replace it completely, but I'm just making sure that the silhouette, or when we're looking from a distance, has like more of that similar type of a look. I can actually, I think, click C. Oh, sorry, not C. C does the opposite of that. I can, not Z, I can click and hold C to basically zoom in and see from a distance how it looks like. So it actually helps for when you want to have those look nicer distances. And when you release it, it's going to go back. So it's very nice while holding right click to either use Z or C to kind of go in or out with the camera, zoom in or out. So that's another quick tip for when looking from a specific angle, for example. So for this angle over here, I can see that this is going to look like that. And of course, I need to fix that up real quick. But yeah, I do love using that button every once in a while when I want to just zoom in to make sure that it would look nicer on a small detail from a distance, from certain distance and whatnot. Going to go ahead and remove this roof, or actually, sorry about that. I'm going to remove one of the roofs, going to leave another roof, and I'm going to change it with a basic type of a roof, just like that. And maybe we'll need a bit of a larger roof, so I'm just going to increase the size like so. And this, just like that, I think it's going to look quite all right, like so. We can keep it actually this kind of a ledge. I quite like this ledge. I'm going to make this a bit larger actually in regards to the width. And there you go. That looks quite nice actually. Okay, let's go ahead and keep it as is. Now we just need to make sure that the, you know, the actual area for this is set up nicely as well. Let's go ahead and add some type of walls. Make sure that they're going a little bit inward, so you don't really want the ledges to be over here unless you have some supports. What I mean by that, actually, I'll just go ahead and quickly take screenshot over here to show you what I mean. Usually when you're placing a wall, if the bottom wall is placed over here, you'd want it to be either here or getting a bit closer. If you're having a wall over here and has this kind of a ledge, you'd want a sort of a support going over on the side to just make sure that it kind of looks like the weight itself is being supported. Or you could have like maybe like, as you can see over here, like pillars from here. So you could have an entire extension going all the way to here, but you may be needing to have like extra supports and whatnot going across to just help out with the weight itself. For this particular case, it's not as important though, but it's worth noting when setting yourself up with certain building sections. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this a little bit actually. I'm going to do something like this. I think that's going to be quite all right. Like so. Yeah, that looks quite nice. Okay, let's go ahead and keep it. And this section over here, I will want to actually close it off actually. Yeah, I think I'll do that. This is going to look quite all right. Maybe I'll need to actually just go ahead and extend this entire section a little bit more. It's not going to be visible for the player. The player is not going to be able to walk over on top of it, since the stairs, they're not going to be jumping over it or anything like that. When it comes to, you know, a player breaking the game and whatnot, we just need to make it look like it's not intended. We can't keep preventing every type of ways from the player to break it apart. We could add maybe like invisible walls and whatnot to make sure it doesn't happen as much. But all in all, you just need to make sure that it doesn't look like a player is obviously not supposed to go into that area, basically. So yeah, just make sure you have, like, for example, over here, it doesn't look like you should be able to easily jump off. You could probably, you know, glitch with the player like this, and then maybe, you know, jump it like this and get into it and stuff like that. But this is obviously maybe like not meant to happen, and maybe you could even like get this wall a bit closer to the edge and make it much harder for that in regards to the setup. So yeah, all in all, I think that's quite all right. I might even delete this window, or maybe not. I'm not sure about that. I don't want any much of a light in this. I just want this frame to be the main detail, so when we're looking from a distance, I'm not sure if it's visible. I'm going to click G and then C and then C. From this distance is not visible, but from here, yeah, it doesn't look quite as nice for a window to look in that area. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete it just like that. Okay, so we're going to have ourselves a nice setup over here. We also might need to think about getting this wall to be a bit thicker, but I reckon we can keep it as is. And let's check actually, if we click 1, we can see how it looks like for a setup. I'm going to go ahead and check without the harbor items. So this is how it looks. It's going to be blocking off certain aspects, and it's a bit hard to see with the boat in the way, but I think all in all it's going to be quite alright in regards to this setup over here. Yeah, I think we're going to leave it as is. We might get some extra building parts going in this way as well, but all in all it's going to be quite alright with this type of silhouette setup. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to this building. In the next lesson, we're going to continue on and start building more of a luxurious area over here. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in a bit.